to Madhuri, what are your experiences around managing and coping with stress?
With me as an individual or with the students that I teach?
You can share, maybe as an individual.
So I'll share both aspects. So having gone through an MBA degree myself, I know how much of pressure it is when you are in a high performing environment where everyone around you seems to be understanding and getting things, whatever is being taught or whatever is being asked of them, they're like on top of their game. And at times then you take a step back and you start wondering, okay, like, am I dumb? I'm amidst all of these high performing people. But little do you know that others are also feeling the same thing. It's just that they don't share it out. It's all about, fake it till you make it. And because that entire environment is like, and no one is sharing that, everyone is just internalizing it, it causes additional stress. And then as Stephanie had highlighted, it just, sorry, as Renee had highlighted, it just, internalizes and starts affecting your body. So personally for me, that had happened during my master's. I ended up, because of a lot of stress, I ended up gaining a lot of weight. It affected it actually led to me developing an autoimmune disorder as well. So it went to that extent, which is pathetic. I mean, had I just spoken at that time or gone easy on myself, things would have been better. So the same experience I try to propagate to my students and my mentees today, because I see them going through that same journey and the same process. Being a consultant for higher education, these are students who are targeting masters, MBA, moving abroad for their studies. So having gone through that journey myself, I see them making those same mistakes. And with my own personal story, I keep telling them that, okay, you're not alone. There are a lot of people out there who went through this, and that seems to calm them down a little bit. And then obviously personal experiences shared with them makes them feel a little
Right.
better.
Awesome. Wonderful insight. Katerina, I'm really interested in understanding your coping mechanism when it gets stressful. With maybe Vladimir or maybe your students.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Amandeep. Well, first of all, let's admit that stress has been around for all the time, and it will be around for all the time. It's a part of our survival mechanism. So we do deal with stress on a regular basis. And the question here is how to be able to manage it well. And particularly connected to school education and children, definitely stress related to taking exams. Number one problem here is not only it impacts negatively the performance during the test, it really messes up the whole mental health. So I think we need to kind of learn to address the issue on a level of family, school, and society. Parents can support their children by saying, I love you anyway. No matter what grade you bring to me on that test, I still love you. Okay, because a lot of times children get to that anxiety related to exams because they're afraid to underperform for their parents. The same thing at school. Teachers need to communicate the message that assessment is just a tool, it's not a goal. Okay, so we don't live our life in order to pass all tests or score high. It is a tool to navigate, right? So it's just for you to know where you are right now, what are the deficiencies are, and what to do next. So any grade or assessment is, in this sense, is just feedback. There is no such a thing as failure. It's all feedback. So this is what needs to be communicated to students at school by teachers and also by society. We shouldn't be measuring human beings by numbers of scores and GPA and IQ tests. That shouldn't exist. Because all these tests, well, first of all, they don't really measure all aspects of a human being. We have other talents. How can we measure our, talent in music or in dancing? So these things are never taken into account, but although they do exist in society. So to answer your question now, how I manage with stress, I just try to have a correct attitude to it. Okay, this is happening now. Okay, I will be dealing with this one day at a time. We're really right now live in a very stressful world with a lot of changes and uncertainty. What we can do, we can still meditate, we can still breathe, we can still find other joys in life and live one day at a time. If I don't perform well today, I will do better tomorrow. But today I get this particular score, and this particular score reflects it's my best today. But again, I will have chances to do better in the future. So I do the same thing with my students. I teach them that there is no such a thing as failure. Your grade is never an indication of your talent, of your success. GPA is not the goal in life. There are other aspects in life to be fully enjoyed, and we are born to be happy, not to score high. Okay, so this is kind of how I view my views on stress. Stress is healthy to a certain degree, but definitely becoming absolutely traumatizing in other cases. And
right. Very true. Very interesting insight, Katerina. Especially assessment is a tool, and IQ is not a measure of success. I think all true teachers understand this, but maybe that expectation needs to come from parents. But anyways, so we'll explore more on this also.